There you go. Well, let me ask you this. I hope I don't mispronounce his name. Tom Sleep.
Tom Sleep, yes.
Tell me who he was and what role he played in your growth as a basketball player.
Tom Sleep came in from Campbellsburg or Campbellsville, Kentucky.
Mm.
He was an all-state basketball player, all-state football player. Got me when I was in the 7th grade, 7th and 8th and 9th grade as my coach, and really taught me all the fundamentals of basketball. I mean, when I got to the varsity under Ray Crow, I'd already had these things.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big man, like 6'3", like 270 some pounds. I mean, guys were scared of him. But he was a mild man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, very nice and mild, and best kind of guy you ever. I thought he was wonderful, and he taught the guys how to play. He never would cut anyone off his freshman basketball team. Anyone that came out, he kept them on the team. And as a matter of fact, some of the guys that played within the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, we won 50-16, went undefeated. With some of those same guys. But Tom Sleep was a guy that didn't get a lot of credit because he was a freshman coach. And at a school where Ray Crow and the varsity started winning games, so he didn't get a lot of credit. But he got you prepared. Now, by throwing the ball into the pivot, a bounce pass, how to play defense, how to talk on defense, how to help your fellow man on defense. Get instead of jogging back, run back and help him. All those kind of things. And for the triangle. When I hear these guys talk about the triangle was invented by, I can't know the coach's name now.
Tex Winters.
About Tex Winters. I said, Tex is a good man. He didn't invent the triangle. We used the triangle in 1950 in the 49s. Before I got into high school, we hit the pivot and you made a cut. You hit the pivot, cut, and went off the triangle. The pivot in those days was the key to your offense. Even on the Royals, we had Wayne Embry. Wayne had the ball. He made
Cincinnati Royals.
Yeah, he made the pass. We set picks, went backdoor, double screens, but Wayne had the ball. And he was making a lot of the passes to people.
Your two brothers, Bailey and Henry. Tell us about the role and the influence they had on you, and what kind of players were they?
Well, if you got two older brothers, you're the youngest brother. You don't say too much to them. I mean, this is what Bailey was a real good shot. He was a play guard, and unfortunately for Bailey, he talked a lot on the court. During those days, George, you know as well as I do, guys would call you a lot of names you didn't want to hear.
Yeah.
Well, he would get being that ghetto in him. He'd get back at him. Our coach didn't like that, but our coach would not stop until the referee said, "Hey, ref, your players are calling my players names." He wouldn't do that, but Bailey would. And there was another player named Willie Posey who I don't think our coach cared for him at all either because he wouldn't let him play. But Bailey was a great shot. As a matter of fact, he went on to play at Indiana Central. I said, let me tell you this, go back. In 1951, he made a shot against Anderson. He's from the corner and got our team into the finals for the first time. And do you know,
first black team ever get into the finals.
He didn't play. He didn't dress for the finals, and they couldn't hit a shot from outside. And I've always said that maybe if my brother had been playing to make those shots out, he could shoot the ball. I mean, it's almost like it's uncanny shooting the ball and they would have won the game. But Ray Crow decided not to play him, so they got beat. He went on to play at Indiana Central College, where he became the leading scorer for the state of Indiana for a long, long time. I don't think he's there now. I think it's another kid broke the record. But I mean, he was great. He was all over the papers and whatnot, even as we were playing at Christmas Attic. Other brother Henry was about a year and 6 months ahead of me, but he got hurt, missed part of school, so he stayed over, and we played on the 1956 team together that went undefeated. He was a forward, had a good shot. Didn't dribble around. He wasn't as athletic as dribbling the ball in and around people, but great shot in the corners. That was his forte.
History around Indianapolis, and the basketball historians will say Oscar Robertson was the best seventh grader in the history of Indianapolis. He was the best eighth grader in the history of Indianapolis. He was the best ninth grader, 10th grader, and 11th grader. But in the eighth grade, your team, you guys won the city championship.
Yeah.
But someone said, hey, Oscar wasn't just the best player; he was also the best student of the game. He knew he could play the game, but he knew the game as well as he could play the game. How were you able to achieve that kind of status so early, Oscar?
You know, when you got a basketball, George, like I had, and you go and play against guys who are older, some guys who are the fathers of some of the guys we played against, and they bump you around, they push you, they hold on you, and they don't let you call fouls, which I think is very important. But you learn, you learn how to dribble around people. You learn what they do with their hands, how their feet are set when they play defense on you, and whether or not they square it up so you can cross over. And all those kind of things, you go. I've always said, anytime you play against anyone new, make a move, boom, just fake, see what he does. And make one other way, boom, see what he does. Then this way you can tell what the guy's going to do. I mean, you have to make adjustments on the court. But I would just go out. I'd probe. I'd try different things. I used to watch books about Hugo Green a lot.
Great player at Duquesne and in the pros.
How he got his jump shots away. How you could almost set. And I had a little thing where I'd make a little rocker step. Boom, you go. You have sit down on the defense. You step out on your right foot, and instead of bringing your right foot back, you raise your head up, see what the guy's going to do. All those kind of things, all the things that I'm talking about the game of basketball, it's just a matter of repetition. You make mistakes. Sometimes you're successful, and after a while you get so proficient with it. You say, "Hey, I can do it. I can do anything with the ball I want to do."